All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to look at a shocking poll by Bullfinch, and let's get started. The results are shocking because Kamala Harris is on her way taking Florida, is taking North Carolina, and Georgia is flipping back to blue as this poll is suggesting. Okay, let's get straight into it. So before we start, let's confirm that we're looking at the right poll. The field dates are September, this is 09, 20th to 23rd. So that's 4 days, and the range is post-debate 2024. Okay, they didn't make a mistake on that. 600 error per state. So this is the margin of error. They got 600 people in each state, and the margin of error is plus minus 4. So usually we think of margin of error being like plus minus 5. So maybe for them, their acceptable margin of error is plus minus 4, which is significant. Don't miss out on that plus minus 1, because that could make Texas in play, because Texas is now leading 5 or 6 for Trump. If margin of error is 5, that means, Texas will be in play. So plus 4 versus plus 5, big difference. Total margin of error across all 1,800 of them is 2.31. So that's actually pretty good. Table of contents, we'll just go into the content itself. So let's go to the first question. Are you or is anyone in your household employed by news media or actively working in campaign politics? The answer is 0. Of course, I don't think anyone's working in that. Are you currently registered to vote? Okay, this is very surprising. Which, by the way, Bullfinch doesn't have a star rating, which means we should be suspicious about their polls. Not that we should entirely discount what they say, but because they have no previous record of credibility, we should be careful. But it doesn't mean, of course, we throw away their results. But this is something that kind of makes me raise my eyebrows, because all 1,800 of them, like every single one of them, are registered to vote. At least they answered the poll as they are registered to vote. So this is kind of sus. How likely are going to vote? Extremely likely is 95%, but here's the problem. For North Carolina, the numbers add up to more than 100%. I don't know what's going on here. So, Bullfinch, if you're watching this, please do something about how much priority it is when it comes to voting in the election. Again, I feel like it's not actually 100%, but maybe everyone who answered the poll, because not everyone's going to pick up the phone and answer the poll, or at least maybe they'll pick up the phone and then they answer halfway because the person is asking, okay, how likely are you going to vote for the election? And they just hang up the phone, right? So at least for the people who continue holding on the line, it would make sense that a vast, vast majority of them are interested to vote. So if we give that type of insight into the poll, the numbers kind of make sense, right? So, but either way, we'll take a look. Okay, Biden. Look, I'm not interested in Biden. Okay, come on, let's let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, for however many of you who are here. 9 of you who are here, okay, just to make sure there are people here before I continue into the juicy part. If the presidential election were to held today, would you be voting for Republican Donald Trump or Democrat Kamala Harris? So, this is the kicker. 48 to 48, 4% undecided. This is across 3 states. Florida, Georgia, North Carolina. Florida, 47% are voting Kamala Harris. According to this poll, we can't see their crosstabs. They don't post their crosstabs. This is their top lines, which is, again, something a little suspicious because I want to see the crosstabs. Republican, 48% voting Donald Trump. I mean, it's not Republicans 48% voting Donald Trump. It's 48% of Floridians voting for Trump and 47% voting for Kamala Harris. And here's the kicker. 5% of them are unsure. That's a huge number. That's a huge number Kamala Harris could tap into. And by the way, she could win this by 3% to 2%, and they will be dead even. if she wins any of the unsure population by more than 3%, she flips Florida blue. And later on, after we assess this poll, we'll go to the 270 map, and I'll just show you the grave consequences of Kamala taking Florida. I mean, it's just over anyway. I mean, it's literally actually over. Okay, we don't need to take a look at the other 6-7 swing states. It's just flat out over. But we'll get to it. Hold on, we'll get to it. Georgia, well, she is 49%. She's actually leading in Georgia, and she's leading in North Carolina. Although she's slightly ahead in Georgia than North Carolina. Sorry. So the numbers are looking good for Kamala Harris, but it's not as if the race isn't close in the two very important 16 EV Sunbelt states. So still a bit of work. It's not impossible for Donald Trump to lose, because 4%, right? If he gets 3% or 4%, he can win both states, which won't win him the election, but it's definitely a good sign for him. At least he's not losing. Look, if he loses at least one of Georgia and Georgia and North Carolina, he is almost definitely losing the election, because he is probably not taking Nevada. He is definitely not taking Michigan and Wisconsin. And by forfeiting those 4 states, he's lost. Kamala Harris already over 270. She doesn't even need Pennsylvania. We'll go to this at the 270 once we finish this poll. This poll is very spicy. It's very spicy, so stay tuned. Which best describe your vote? Look at this. Pay attention. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she's an awesome president. 67% Florida, 76% Georgia. Wow, Georgia, you guys are really doing it. 72% North Carolina. Okay, and again, I mean, there are people who hate Trump reasonably, and I'm one of them. 33% say I'm definitely not voting for Trump because he's a garbage president. 24%. This is kind of funny, because you would expect Georgia to have a higher percentage of people who hate Trump, but actually it's lower. And North Carolina, 28%. Here's the kicker. This is something that I did not expect. You guys ready? I'm voting for Trump because he's an awesome president. 64% as compared to Kamala Harris. 72% of positive support. Only 64% of people voting for Trump are voting for Trump. 36 of them are voting against Harris, especially if you look at Florida. This is something I never expected. When we say like the Trump crowd is fanatical, they're too far gone, they're just into Trump, they don't care about anything else. Well, at least this poll shows that sometimes there are some people in the Trump crowd who are not that into Trump. They just fear Kamala Harris, right? Because when you look at the numbers, just look at Georgia. More than 3/4 of people are voting for Harris, and only less than a quarter are voting against Trump. But in the same state, less than 2/3 are voting for Donald Trump, but more than 1/3 is voting against Harris. And this pattern is consistent across every state. So actually, when Kamala Harris improves her approval rating and her favorability rating, it's huge. People will think like, okay, it doesn't matter because the people voting for Trump are going to vote for Trump anyway. They aren't voting against Harris. They're just voting for Trump, right? But no. And by the way, Kamala Harris has overtaken favorability for like the past 5 days, and she's at plus 1.1. We will take a look at that. Guys, I know you guys are very excited. We've got so much content to go through. I think today we're going to hit 1 hour on the live stream. I'm feeling it. We got so much content to go through. Guys, it's crazy. I'm losing my mind right now. Also, let me know. Just type in the chat, like say hi or something. So let me know like if you guys are on this. And let's move on. If the presidential election were held today, we'll be voting for Republican Donald Trump or Democrat Kamala Harris. So this you will think is the same question, but it's not, because in the first question it was Democrats first. I think it was Democrats first and then Republicans second. But either way, they're adding a third party and unsure. So just now there was no third party. There was only unsure, right? There's third party. So given third party, the numbers don't change that much. Kamala Harris still 1 point behind in Florida, still 2 points ahead in Georgia, and still 1 point ahead in North Carolina. Actually, sorry. Can you guys take a look at the title of this video? I think the title was "She is taking back Georgia as if she's not already taking it." So the correct title should be Kamala winning both North Carolina and Georgia. So I actually underestimated. American guy, Florida flipping blue, really? I don't know, because I don't want to be the guy who's like, yeah, she's taking everything. We follow the poll. By the way, we'll get to that. We'll get to that question. I'm not trying to evade your question because I don't have enough info, but at the end of the poll, I'll give you a reply. Is that okay with you? Because I don't want to jump the gun. Thank you for the comment. And again, going back to the poll, doesn't the independents again, like, I don't know, is RFK on ballot in Florida? Because if he is, he's not really making any impact. Again, it's the unsure. It's the unsure that is critical. Like, if the unsure goes by landslide, if the 5% goes by landslide by 3% to anyone, that person would take all 3 states by just appealing to the 3% in the 5% of unsure, which is exactly why Electoral College is garbage. Okay, it's garbage. Like, if you're in California, I'm not saying your vote doesn't matter. If you're in Montana, I'm not saying your vote doesn't matter. Your vote matters. But the 3% in the 5% of one of the 3 states could decide the election outcome single-handedly. This is why Electoral College is garbage, right? If there was a viable independent, a normal person... They have to say... Okay, this question is biased. Look, normal person, who could they be throwing a shade against, huh? If there was just a normal person, would you consider voting for them? 48% says yes. 44, 45. I don't know why 26. Okay, look. 48% of people are secretly pro-Harris, but they're not over the edge. And the unsure are the people who's like on the fence with Trump up after his horrendous second debate performance. They're like, I'm not sure if like we got like a normal guy as an independent. I'm not really sure. Look, they're in the coping phase, okay? They're coping. Look, if you're one of those people, we welcome you with warm embrace. Okay, we don't judge you. Everyone goes through crazy phases in their life. We welcome you. I mean it in a genuine manner. You know, if you're unsure and if you want to ask me some questions to clarify your doubt, I'm all yours. Seriously, you know. Come on, seriously, we accept you. Unlike the MAGAs who really hate us and like would prefer us to, you know, just vanish off the planet of the earth. If Senate election, oh my God, it's Scott versus Powell. This is horrendous. Look, Scott is a mere 2% ahead in Florida against Powell. Okay, 2%. Okay, I'll go to the Rick Scott one, but let me reply to American Guy. I followed the polls for weeks. My prediction is she'll take Georgia. I'm not sure about North Carolina. Florida flipping blue is about 30% as a statistics guy. Right. I think I agree with your assessment, although I would say Florida flipping blue is about 10 to 12%. I don't want to sound pessimistic, but I mean, but 10 to 13, 15%, it's a humongous chance because Florida flipping blue is a monumental. I mean, it's just over, right? It's a bad thing. Even 10% of that chance happening is a grave concern for the Republicans, right? So I wouldn't be as optimistic as you because 30% is very precarious for the Republicans. Like that's like no joke right now. I mean, 30%. When it comes to Georgia, I think I agree with your general sentiment, but I think she has a better chance in North Carolina because Georgia has horrendous voter suppression, and North Carolina, due to Mark Robinson completely screwing the GOP. I think North Carolina, as it stands, but we still got like 6 weeks to election night. A lot of things can change. So I'm only saying this as of recording. But I agree with you in general that I think she's going to take the election by more than just a close race. As of now, it's a close race. And regardless of how you think, you should go out there and vote. And regardless of where you are, your vote matters. Hey, look, regardless if you're voting red or blue, if you're a Trumpster, if you're a MAGA head, look, go out there and vote for Donald Trump. I'm not going to discourage you from voting. I believe in democracy. I believe in activism. I believe in political engagement. Look, just go out there and vote, okay? The polls are important because we want to understand where our standing is. And, if you want to do something for the community, this is a good place to start. And once again, thank you so much, American Guy. That was a wonderful question and great insight. But going back to Rick Scott and Powell, 10% are unsure. Look, this is huge because we got 42 days to election. 10% unsure could flip the outcome. Because remember, the margin of error for the state was only plus minus 4%. This is way out of the margin of error, which means anyone could be taking Florida when it comes to the Senate. And Rick Scott is actually slipping. He's still slipping in his approval rating. So, yeah, that's kind of bad. And if you flip the question, and then you add a third party and independent, look at what happens. The gap now closes to 1%. And the unsure goes to 11%. They could be losing for at least, okay, what I'm thinking is the chances of them losing at least either the Senate or the electoral vote in Florida is pretty damn high. Either one. Sorry, I just finished breakfast, so I'll be burping and sometimes I'm coughing because I caught a nasty flu. I think it was like some knockoff COVID a few weeks back. Man, that thing hits hard. Okay, we forgot what happened, what COVID did to our economy when Trump entirely mishandled it, which is something I will continuously talk about in my future live streams, that we need to be reminded that I still suffered last week anyway. Actually, it may not be COVID, I don't know. But it's okay, we'll go back. And this is a rotate, so they swapped the Republican and the sequence. I think Democrat is down 2 points once again because now they're asking Republican first, then Democrat instead of Democrat first and then Republican. It does matter because it's about priming the person listening to the poll, so it kind of matters. But again, the status, look, Georgia, North Carolina, look, Mark Robinson is getting crushed. I think this was before Mark Robinson because the date was 20th to 23rd. I'm not sure at that time Mark Robinson was major news. I'm actually not sure. Maybe not. But anyways, this number will keep going up. I think Mark Robinson right now is 56 to 35 in North Carolina. I think that's the number. So this is pre Mark Robinson. Did I say conspiracy? What's the word I want to use? Never mind. Controversy. That was the word. And Georgia and Florida will follow suit together with the negative sentiment towards GOP Senates. So these numbers will go up. I would not even be surprised if all three end up winning for the Democrats. I mean, I'm not surprised because they just keep messing up. Like, do you remember Ron DeSantis? Have you guys forgotten that guy? 6-week abortion ban. Florida. Georgia, voter suppression. North Carolina, Mark Robinson. Come on. If there's a non-partisan, I think we went through this. Again, there are 28% of you who's like, you're not sure. Let me help you out. Be sure. Rick Scott, not good. Whoever is running in Georgia, not good. And Mark Robinson, come on, guys. You can't be unsure about that guy. Dude literally say he would like to own slaves of his own people. Okay, like he's openly a neo. I can't say the N word. Naki. You know what word? Okay, so hey, look. If you guys are unsure, come tell me. I'm gonna convince you. I'll convince you in one live stream. Yeah, Donald Trump is a concerning force in this war. I can't agree with you. As an independent voter, I will 100% urge you to listen more to Trump, because the more you listen to him, the more you penetrate this media veil of sane washing Trump. Seriously, like, if you keep watching Trump, you just go, well, actually, this guy is freaking bonkers. You know, like that's like, pay attention to that guy and you know he's crazy. On the scale, identify yourself politically. I think this is liberal, and in the middle is moderate, and then 10 is strongly Republican. So they score it in this way: 0, 1, all the way to 10, right? And I think they weight. They do like 8 times 0, and then 6 times 1, and then 7 times 2. They add it together and divide by 11, because there are 11 options. Because 1 to 10 is exactly 10, and then when you add 0, that's another option. And if you add 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10, that comes to 55. And 55 divided by 11 is exactly 5. So when you look at the political leaning in all the southern states, look, there's no surprise, because 5.4 is leaning Republican, 5.5 Florida, 5.5 Georgia, 5.3 in North Carolina. But here is not the surprising news, because you already know this. What happens when they say future elections, which means how these people see themselves in the future about their party? Hold yourselves. Rating went from 5.5 down to 5.1 in Florida by just adding this future election, which means the Republican side are very, very unhopeful, right? Other than the staunchly ones who are, well, 11% to 14%, which is a jump. You look at the 8, it went from 11 to 9. You look at the 9 here, it went to 6. The independents, look at the moderate and the independent, 25% down to 15% in Florida. That's how they see themselves. They're like, you know what? Actually, I'm shifting more Democrat, because Democrat numbers have went up 14%, 8%. It's almost double. 10%, 6%, almost double. So what it is saying is, independents like Mr. American Guy, thank you for the sub, like Mr. American Guy, you know, people like him, according to the polls, are saying, you know what? I'm leaning more towards the Democrats than the Republicans, right? Because the 10% from the independents has to go somewhere. A few of them went to 14 over here, but most of them went all the way Democrat. This is Florida, right? And if you look at Georgia, 25 to 11%. Oh my God, Georgia, they're all the way. They're all in for the Democrats. They cut independents by more than half. Look, 25% to 11%. Massive shift from the independent to the Democrat. North Carolina, a bit of a lesser shift, but still more than Florida. I think less than Florida. I think North Carolina, but again, if you look at the shift in exclusively Democrat, 9%. And of course, the Republican side is also gaining, but if you look at the total averages, independents are definitely moving towards a Democrat, and this is good news. This is very, very good news. In a perfect world, did you see America's elected official stand politically? I don't quite understand the question, but let's go to the Donald Trump question. No chance, 33% in Florida. Absolutely MAGA is actually less in Florida. So when we're dooming ourselves, as Democrats, honestly, sometimes we are too pessimistic. We're honestly very pessimistic, like we think, oh, the world is ending, the MAGA lunatics are overtaking the world. But according to this poll, in Florida, out of all places, they're saying there are more no Trumpers than all Trumpers, right? I mean, just take a look. Just take a look at this. And average is actually 4.9. So actually in Florida, according to this poll, people are actually less favorable for Donald Trump. And it's even less favorable at the extremes. There are more people who are no Trump than there are people who are yes Trump all the way. So we shouldn't be dooming, really. I mean, I'm so glad for Kamala Harris because she's such a positive force. But sometimes, we are in a state of fear. And we should, I guess, to a certain degree, but we shouldn't deject ourselves and refuse to see the world as it is. And the world is becoming better. It really is. Because look at the numbers, guys. Georgia, again, same thing. More people who are no Trump than people who are for Trump. Same in North Carolina. Although Georgia and North Carolina seems to be more favoring Trump than Florida, it's not surprising given what women have suffered through in Florida under Ron DeSantis and the GOP as a whole. So I'm not surprised at all. And when we look at Kamala Harris, the numbers, only in Florida, she's all the way ahead. So which confirms my suspicion that Georgia and North Carolina is slightly more conservative than Florida as we speak. So she is the only person who has yes more than no. So only in Georgia, it's like, no, she's a dumpster fire. But in Florida and North Carolina, there are more people who are saying, I'm going for Harris than I'm going against Harris. Which, and by the way, compare this number, 35% to 28%. This confirms the previous part of the live stream. If you missed it, you can rewind it later. But I'm just going to move on because I want the audience coming in to get on the momentum. It confirms that there are more people who are for Harris than there are people who are against Trump. And this is a mindset shift we have to make. There is more positivity than negativity against the negative. So this is something we have to educate ourselves on. Right? Favorability section. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, look, leading. Okay? And I think very unfavorable. Kamala Harris, leading. Net favorable. Donald Trump in Florida, negative. Negative. Kamala Harris, even. Donald Trump, negative in Florida. In Georgia. Positive in Georgia. Negative in Florida. North Carolina. Why do I keep saying Florida? Sorry. I'm going too fast. Let me slow down. Net favorable. Kamala Harris, North Carolina. She is never unfavorable in any of the state. That's the kicker. And Trump is always unfavorable in all three states. So, I'm just saying, according to this poll, Kamala Harris is absolutely crushing Donald Trump in these southern states. I mean, not looking good for Trump. And I think this is a repoll, but I think they swapped the sequence. So this is about the party. This is not about the candidate. And there's a bit of a risk here because Floridians still see the Republican Party as more favorable and the Democrat Party as less favorable. But North Carolina, look, that's why I say American guy. That's why I say I think North Carolina is more likely than Georgia. Because look at this. They're the only state that goes, I'm both unfavorable to the Republican Party and Donald Trump. And Mark Robinson. North Carolina, honestly, unless the voter suppression gets real bad, I think they did something like, did RFK force reprint that delayed early voting or something like that by putting his name on ballot, which I would think. I think he pulled out of the ballot and that caused a reprint in North Carolina that would delay early voting by weeks. That is, election interference to a certain degree. And sorry for burping. So yeah, North Carolina, unless the suppression gets really, really bad, I really think Kamala Harris will take North Carolina. And here's the thing, okay? According to what I understand about the election night, we could know the outcome of the election as early as 8 p.m. Because North Carolina, I remember, I may be wrong, will finish counting as per normal. Again, we don't know, maybe there's voter suppression, but as per normal, North Carolina will finish counting its votes by 8 p.m. on election night. And before that will be Michigan and Pennsylvania. And if Kamala Harris wins North Carolina, that's it. She wins the election, period. So we could actually know the presidential outcome as early as 8 p.m. November 5th. We'll stay tuned. A politician that works both sides of the aisle, I think, moderate people are very much appreciated in everywhere. And independents are also very much appreciated. And Kamala Harris, honestly, look, and her affiliation with so many Republicans, getting endorsement, and her openly saying she's going to have a Republican working for her in her cabinet, she's way closer to a politician that's going across the aisle and it's independent than Donald Trump. So she's just winning hard. I mean, in the cases where she isn't winning, she isn't even losing, and not even by that much, even if she's losing. We're only halfway. Let me know if you guys are getting a bit tired of the stream. Yeah, maybe Florida. You're right. Even without Georgia, it's 322. I mean, at the point where North Carolina is called, I just think nothing else matters. But no. Okay. Let me rephrase. It matters. Okay, doesn't matter if North Carolina is called. Go out there and vote. If you're in Georgia, go out there and vote. I'm sorry. What I meant was mathematically, but physically, you guys should go vote. Doesn't matter what Fox News say. Kamala Harris is projected to win. Does not matter. Don't celebrate early. You know what happened in 2016. So that's a reminder. Political sentiment. You and your neighbors. A candidate who works with Republican Democrats, who works both. See? Look at this number. Both. Your voice will be heard by elected officials. Yes, no. And again, I think people are just losing confidence in the House. They're losing confidence in the government. Again, I think this is simply just a poll about how people view if their political actions will matter in the governmental sense. I understand why people are dejected, but life is life. Sometimes we're disappointed, but life has to move on. We should not be hit down by just our past, because whether or not we lament about the past, we wallow in self-pity, the future is going to come. Time is a cruel mistress. You have to look her in the eye and embrace her. Looking ahead series. Are you concerned about political violence? Well, a lot of people are, and I am too. I'm actually genuinely horrified about the prospect of political violence ending 2024 election. Fair and accurate democracy. Look, with Donald Trump and his Gen 6 and his give me 11,800 votes in Georgia. I just need 11,800 votes. Come on, man. I'm saying I'm losing a bit of confidence, but we have to press on. Undocumented migrants voting. Okay, show me the evidence. That's all I'm going to say. Show me the evidence. If Trump were to lose, which do you think is more likely? Guys, come on, tune in. Christian Avile just found my channel. I'm hopeful on a blue wave. I'm hopeful insofar as people voting. Okay? It's contingent hope. It's not faith. It's not fantasy. It's not a dream. It's contingent on action. So we have seen what happens when there was just hope and no action. When it was just talk and no walk. So I'm hopeful, yes. But am I certain? No, because that depends on turnout. But thank you for your question, Christian. Grant Harvard, those people have the same type of nerve damage. Okay, I wouldn't go so far, but I agree with your sentiment. Like Donald Trump said, he likes the uneducated. So nothing against the uneducated, and a lot of times they're uneducated by circumstance, right? They're born in a state where there's a lot of religious indoctrination, there's a lot of suppression, there's a lot of sexism and racism, and there's just a lot of structures set against them. And I dislike them for the fact that they vote against what's good for us and what's good for them. But I don't hate them. But thank you for your comment, Grant Harvard. I absolutely agree. There's so many people, they're just not vying for their own interest. And I feel bad. I just feel bad. Thank you, Grant. And this is the funny thing. Even Floridians are saying, look. Okay, I keep laughing, but I can't stop. They're saying if Donald Trump loses, 19, less than 20% of Floridians are saying he'll concede defeat. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at Kamala Harris, 60%. So my question is, why are you voting for that guy? Okay, let's do logic. Okay, let's be troll. Let's troll a bit with logic. Since he's not conceding defeat, just vote for Kamala Harris. Because he's not going to meet the defeat anyway, so defeat doesn't matter, so just make him lose. Because he's not going to concede anyway, right? Come on. Has this election cycle made you think we need more Democrats? Well, look, it's even. It's even in every state. So North Carolina, again, leading by a bit. Which confirms my suspicion that North Carolina is more favored than Georgia. It doesn't mean Georgia has no chances, which is a truer statement. American politics is a shining example to other countries how great democracy works. Most people are very unhappy about American democracy or the lack thereof. Come on. And I agree with them. It doesn't matter if you're red or blue. You answered this question correctly, and I'm with you. But again, United States is still one of the most democratic countries in the world. Despite, I know you guys are like, no, that's not true. Look, there are like 195 countries in the world. Just how many are as democratic as America? Even as bad as it is right now, let's not discredit the United States. You guys, I know you are disappointed, but don't discredit your own country like this, okay? You guys are still living in it's the most powerful country on the planet in human history. And things are crumbling, but there's a lot of hope. And guess who is for that message? Harris Walz. Do you think American politics has influenced? Yes, obviously. I mean, you guys are right. Doesn't matter if you're red or blue, you guys are right. Who do you think has the best policy for America regarding education? Democrats. Look, even the uneducated admit that the Democrats has better policy for education. Okay, so we all know we all know this. And again, hey, okay, this is the kicker. Florida still believes by a small margin that a Republican are better at immigration, and so is every other state. But the question is, do you guys know Donald Trump vetoed the bipartisan bill under him when it comes to immigration? Like, you guys know that, right? It was he had more illegal crossings in his term than in Biden's term. Now, of course, there's COVID, which restricted people from crossing, but we don't know how that would have affected immigration. So, when it comes to immigration, I understand your confusion. I understand, but I don't agree. I don't agree in a vehement way that's degrading of your character, but I just urge you to look at the facts. So these are about issues. When it comes to energy, again, I think Republicans are conservative Republicans leading by quite a bit in Florida, beyond just on the dot of the margin of error, because the margin of error is plus minus 4. Georgia and North Carolina by a bit. North Carolina is actually more Republican on this issue. So when it comes to the issue, it seems like the southern states are still conservative, which is not a surprise. But when it comes to the candidate, they are Democratic. They're pro-Democrat. So when it comes to the southern states, it really is about if Donald Trump can stay on point. Can Donald Trump stay on policy, or will he be on Truth Social every day, sending 20, 30 tweets about the craziest conspiracy theories and never talk about policy and get triggered over crowd sizes, right? Because if he is on policy, he can win all 3 states. I mean, can as in more likely he can still win all 3 states anyway. But I'm saying if he really wants to win, which he doesn't, because Kamala Harris correctly pointed out, Donald Trump is an unserious man. He's not serious about his own presidency. He could go to jail if it doesn't win the presidency. He's not even serious about that. What makes you guys think he's serious about the country? He's an unserious guy. Because if he is, he'll look at the numbers like I am looking at it, and I'm not running for president. And he would just go, you know what? Let me just shut up on Truth Social. Let me shut up on Twitter. Let me campaign more and talk about all the issues. It's for me. He just tweeted a long wall of garbage just a few days ago about how he's pro-women and women are better off under him. And come on, why are you campaigning? Why are you making abortion an issue you're losing by a landslide on your front page? Like, what are you doing? I'm not even pro-Trump. I'm just perplexed. I'm confused. I'm confused with this campaign. I'm confused. Yeah, he has a concept. He has a concept of a plan. That's crazy. Let me go through your conversation as I was going through the polls. Yeah, something deeply in them that's very dangerous. You're very right. You took the words right out of my mouth. There's something very dangerous, a seed that was planted in them that will not be rid. That will not be rid even if Donald Trump were to fall. So this is something we have to pay attention to. We can't just forget, oh, Kamala Harris won, and like the world is hopeful all over again. No, you're right, Grant. You are very right. If Donald Trump loses, he'll leave the country. I don't know about that because he's constantly flip-flopping about what he will do when he loses or wins. I'm not even. Simpsons predicted he will run. If he's not in jail, because you can't run from jail. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you can. Yeah, it's fine to share at least for Philadelphia. I visited a mainly Haitian and black area, barbershops, and they're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs in Springfield, Ohio. And the cat lady comments from JD Vance. Come on, and you got concepts of a plan. Okay, I got a concept of a future, and that is called you not winning the election and GTF for out of the country. That's a concept. I mean, I don't have a plan. What I do is called invigorating every voter to go out there and vote. That's my plan. I have a plan. As some no-name streamer, YouTuber that has like 800 subs, not gaining any subs, right? I'm not even breaking 1,000. As a person who is like a small fry in anything in life, in politics, I have a plan. Donald Trump, when it comes to the economy, immigration, which he's leading in, has no plan. He has a concept of plan. Hey, look, whatever suits you guys, man. I'm just saying, whatever suits you. You like that? I support your democratic participation in voting for Donald Trump, but honestly, I feel like you're making the wrong decision. Ask me some questions, I'll answer it for you. Okay? I was born in America and a first-time voter. This will not be my first time. Okay, this just means they're repeated voters. And I think again, like people are saying, oh, look at all the converts. All the naturalized citizens coming in and destroying the voting system. No, because look at this. New American, which means they're naturalized, 3%, 4%, 3%, 3%. Yes, that will decide the edge. But the problem isn't with them. The problem is with Electoral College. So don't blame immigrants. Blame your forefathers for making the dumbest decision in democracy. Stop blaming other colored people for white mistakes. And I'm not even being racist, because at that point of time, only white people, I mean, not only, but pretty much white people, white men. Not trying to be racist, not trying to be misandrist, but I'm just telling you all the facts. It's Electoral College that's causing all these problems. And guess who is against the repeal of Electoral College? The people who are complaining about immigrants affecting the election. The Republicans, the GOP. So you guys are your own worst makers. I mean, look, I'm just telling you all the numbers. And I think 9% are young voters, because I was born in America. So young voters, 9%, 12%, 7%. Remember, these polls are Dow-in polls, because they will that would mean that they were underpolling the youth. So these numbers should be well in the double digits, right? But anyway, which of the following best describes your attitude towards the American election? Limited options between there'll be more options. I think most people are favorable towards more options. Oh, what did I do? Sorry. Georgia really wants more options. I think maybe just because Georgia has more independence. Most people want more options, and I agree. I'm pro Harris. I want her to win. But I really do want a viable third option. I really do. I really hope you Americans really get your third option. And what I hope Harris will do is, I don't think she has the power to do this, even if we give her 2 terms. But what I hope she does is win over Republicans, which she is doing. But if she can revitalize a third party by splintering Democratic Party, because once the GOP loses this election, which they are on their way to losing, it's over. Because in the future, when Donald Trump leaves, who is going to take care of the MAGA people, right? They're going to be so mad at the GOP. So the GOP is pretty much going to be tanked, right? And I ask you this very simple question. Other than Trump, hi John Martin, hi Pao Yang, Harris, Waltz, 2024. All the way. John Martin, my gut feeling is that this election will be more similar to 2020 than 2016. Absolutely. Kiwis for Kamala Harris. Hi there from, thank you so much, coming from Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, this actually, if you look at the map, Kamala Harris is performing as close to Biden as she has ever been. So you're right, John. And thank you for your positivity, Paul Pao Yang. So I was talking about if the Republican loses this, they have no candidate to fight against Kamala Harris come 2028. Because who do they have? RFK? No, that guy is a zombie. He has no charisma. He's even worse than JD Vance, because JD Vance has negative riz. RFK have no riz. He has no charisma. Okay, he has no notoriety. He's a zombie. Who's gonna run for the Republicans? Vivek Ramaswamy against Tim Walz. Oh, Waltz versus Vance is happening 1st October, which is in 3 days. Might be in 4 days, depending on where you live. You're East Coast or West Coast. But for me, right now, it's 3 days. Yeah, if Donald Trump drops out and the MAGA crowd is so angered that they're not voting for GOP anymore, and GOP has no more better people than RFK, JD Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley. Look, I mean, it's over. I think GOP might have to dissolve. And this is where Kamala Harris can split the Democratic Party into 2 different parties, like the Democrats and the New Republicans. And then you have of course the MAGA crazy people who will continue voting for MAGA, and then you have a situation of 3 parties. That is ideal, but I don't think the DNC is gonna let her do that. So, and I don't think she's gonna try to do that. But if she does that, look, her name will go down in American history as a hero of the times, as one of the most important figures that changed and revolutionized American democracy forever. If she really did that, she's a hero. She's George Washington. Okay, she's a hero. That's it. That's all that matters. And I don't think she's gonna do it, but nah, it's all right. Do you consider yourself to be Hispanic or Latino? Yes, no. So about 30% of people in Florida are Latinos, and according to what we have discussed by Mr. American Guy and us, the Haitian dog eating comments are kind of effed. That's 30%. Where were we? That's 30% of Latinos. That's way more than the small swing needed to turn Florida blue. Even if not all are Latino, even if not all Latinos are affected by that comment, but the fact that the smallest slice of that block would be voting en bloc against Trump because of that comment, brutal. Just brutal. White, Caucasian, Hispanic voters, black, again, like the black and the Hispanic community. Look, whatever they did when it comes to dog eating comment and JD Vance doubling down, that's just monumentally stupid. I don't want them to win, but if I were their advisor, I'd be like, shut up, delete the tweet, and apologize. But that's what they did, and they're still doubling down, by the way. And if there was a second presidential debate, I'm 100% certain that Kamala Harris will endlessly drill Donald Trump. Do you still believe Haitian immigrants are eating dogs in Springfield, Ohio? All she needs is to keep repeating that one sentence. Do you still believe that? Every question that was asked by Donald Trump, just say, do you still believe Haitians are eating dogs? Do you still believe Mr. Ex-President Trump, Mr. Candidate Trump? Do you still believe we are approving post-birth abortion of executing baby 9 months after pregnancy in every state? Do you still believe that? Do you still believe we're performing illegal forced transgender surgery on illegal aliens being jailed in prisons illegally? Do you still believe in that? All she needs to do in a second debate is to keep asking him. Keep asking him, do you still believe in that? And she's going to win. She's going to crush him. She doesn't even have to talk about issues. Just ask him those questions. North Carolina turns blue. It'll be much closer win. I think it will be over, honestly. If Trump loses North Carolina, Pennsylvania is very heavily Democrat right now. We'll go back to 270 and 538. We got so much to cover. I think we're over an hour now. But bro, we got so much to cover. It's crazy. We might be stretching this to like 2 hours. I hope you guys got a coffee or got a meal, because there's so much news. I didn't stream for 3 days, and the amount of news that came in, insane, just insane. And it will get even more insane as we go on closer to the election night. You consider yourself to be very liberal, libertarian, very conservative. So again, moderates dominate, and then somewhat conservative is second, and very conservative third. So despite the fact that Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina are very conservative, Trump is just such a turnoff. Who did you vote? Florida, Donald Trump. So in this sample, Florida won by 3 points. So actually this sample is slightly biased towards the Democrats, because the outcome in Florida was a bit more than this, I believe. And it's not 47 to 45. Somehow 2020 election, they got Georgia winning for Donald Trump. So there's some problem with sampling, and they got them even in North Carolina. So this is the thing. We're looking at a sample poll. We're not looking at a mass polling of millions of people. It's only 600 per state. So you get some very funny poll numbers here. So they underpolled the Democrats in Georgia. They overpolled the Democrats in Florida, and I think they overpolled the Democrats in North Carolina. So we have to keep that in mind. The news are positive, but we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. Highest level of education, less than high school, some college. So actually, Florida has quite a bit of college goers, and this would decide election. let me tell you, college goers are turning out like crazy this time. And Georgia, same. Look, there are more and more college goers. I think about 50%, almost 50% of the people have either a 2-year degree, 4-year degree, or have attended college to some degree, or even post-grad. So as the country becomes more and more educated, it's going to go more and more blue. Do you consider when it comes to sexual orientation, 7-8%, about 10% maybe? Yeah, Donald Trump not doing well in this group. Let's just be real. Single, married, separated, divorced, widowed, angry cat ladies, Florida. JD Vance, you dumb Dumbo. 9% widowed. And his comments about single people should be second-class citizens. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Do you have children? Describe your neighborhood. Urban, suburban, 51%. Whatever they did with suburban cat ladies. Ouchies. They will win the rules, but they're losing hard in the suburbs. They're losing hard. 401k. I don't know how that matters at all. Please describe your occupation. Private sector, retired cat ladies. Guys. Yeah, you attended college but dropped out, so you'll be under the where did we go? The attended college, so you'll be some college. You'll be here. You'll be under some college, which is 26%. College is hard. I think 26% of people drop out. At least this is what I interpret from the statistics. More than a quarter. College is hard, not just academically, but financially. So if you dropped out, a lot of people are with you. You're not alone here. Where were we? We are with government, private sector, small business owners. 6%, 8%, 7%. Kamala Harris wants to cut taxes for small business owners. They want to cut taxes for the middle income, for the people employed in the private sectors. They want to cut taxes and cut red tapes against starting your own business. So she's getting this. Homemakers, she's getting this. Others, entrepreneurs, she's getting this. And we want to classify people into broad income groups, which you estimate. Yeah, so look at the income brackets. Look at everyone who's below 6 figures. 37%, 35%. Cutting taxes. And Donald Trump is appealing to these millionaires and billionaires. Look at the proportion of them. Actually, they're leaving out the millionaires because he's only vying for his billionaire friends. Do you currently own mortgage? Housing cuts. Kamala Harris. Housing cuts. 61%. 62%. Housing cuts. Whatever Donald Trump is doing. Okay, we finished the poll, but let's go back to the beginning. I think this was the poll. To conclude, 47% voting for Kamala Harris, 48% for Donald Trump in Florida. Kamala Harris takes the lead 49-47 in Georgia, takes the lead 49-48 in North Carolina. We are not done. Because we're going to go back to 538 and then we'll go back to 270 and look at what happens on the map. But by the way, according to this poll, she's only down by 1. And we've still got 42 days to election night. She's already ahead in Georgia. She's already ahead in North Carolina. She'll be even more ahead. And she might be flipping Florida. Let's go to 538. But before we do that, let's see what you guys have to say. Never give up on your art. 100%. Just keep working at it. Yeah, I feel that too. It's, yeah. Never give up. Let's go back to 538. Okay, I'm going to Google 538 forecast. Okay, and then I'm going to Google 538. Going back to 538 forecast. If we look at the map, she's winning. First of all, Wisconsin. She's winning. I mean, there's only one Emerson poll that puts up behind. But if you look at the timeline, she's just ahead, okay? She's winning Wisconsin. If we look at Michigan, it's even worse. Okay, we look at Michigan. She's absolutely crushing. Look at all the polls. It's all red. +8. I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't think she's +8, but the 3-star polls is +5, +5, +5. It's +5. It's all +5, okay? And if you look at the win, look, Michigan, she has been winning. Ever since Biden dropped out, she has been winning Michigan. Michigan, definitely a win for Kamala Harris. And if we look at, and look, remember Michigan, because we're going to talk about Florida later, but remember Michigan, because it's the key state that win her the election. Pennsylvania, all the polls blue, one poll red, and all the other polls, all the 3-star +2, +1, +4. If we see more polls, if we see all polls, it's all blue. It's all blue. Even blue, one red. And if we go back to the timeline, she is leading ever since August 9th, August 8th. She is leading. Only one day she's tied, but ever since then she's been leading once again. Pennsylvania, solid. Looks pretty solid. It's not entirely solid, but it looks kind of solid. Arizona, kind of looks horrible for Kamala Harris, honestly, because Donald Trump is, look, +6, +5. These are horrible numbers for Harris. I don't think Donald Trump is that much ahead, but +3 is very reasonable. Arizona, I mean, Morning Consult has her +3, but most of the polls, Arizona, she's down. Nevada, I believe she's ahead. She looks kind of even across all the polls, but when you look at the probability, again, she has mostly been winning, losing for a few days here and there, but mostly been winning in Nevada. So Nevada probably goes to Kamala Harris. Georgia, she has been losing quite a bit, but she's gaining, according to Shaw and Beacon Research. She is gaining again, and Bullfinch Group was the one who puts her ahead. This is the poll that we just took a look at. So Georgia, she is kind of losing. So it's very tight. She's like, look at this. It's crazy. She's taking, and then losing, taking, losing. So Georgia is very tight. Georgia is very, very tight. When you look at North Carolina, again, she's losing, winning less than she's losing. If we look at the odds, again, North Carolina is only recently winning. It's way more recent because Georgia was already flipping over here. But North Carolina winning, losing. So, again, North Carolina and Georgia, very close. Arizona, almost certainly in Trump's hands. Nevada, quite likely going to Kamala Harris. Pennsylvania, very likely Harris. Wisconsin, Michigan, definitely Harris. And Florida is right beneath Michigan. Florida winning probability, it's quite steadily in Trump's favor. Although, when you look at the polls, +3 from Emerson College is pre-debate, September 3rd to 5th, pre-debate. And right now, according to Bullfinch, the poll we just looked at, +1. And it's quite dangerous. We look at the map, what happens is, okay, before we go to the map, let's take a look at the favorability of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. This affects independent voters heavily. Okay? Kamala Harris has been trending favorable for the past 3 days. It is 3 days? 6 days. For past 1 week, she's been trending favorable. This is unheard of, guys. This is unheard of in presidency elections. She is, look, she's trending favorites. Come on. +1, she's trending even more. I was +1.1 today. Okay, I think for you guys it's September 27th. For me it's 28th. But yeah, look at this, +0.1. Now it's +1.1 in just less than a week. She's going to go to 2.1, 3.1. She's crushing it. She's crushing it. And when you look at Donald Trump, he is gaining favorability, but he's like deadlocked at like +9 unfavorable. Like he's just deadlocked. At his best after the assassination, he's like +8.7. And then he goes right back to +9 unfavorable. For Trump, I mean, it's just bad. Going back to the map, I'm going to color Michigan solidly blue and Pennsylvania Wisconsin likely blue, Pennsylvania leaning blue, Nevada leaning blue. And Georgia, North Carolina leaning red, and Arizona likely red. So this is the map I would be seeing if I were to be completely, entirely fair. Absolutely fair. I don't care about anything else. Absolutely fair. According to the polls today, Kamala Harris will be winning the 2024 United States presidential election and will be crowned, inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States. This is the map. If election were to be held today, as according to all the polls, Kamala Harris will be winning by 276 electoral votes. But we were talking about Florida. What happens if Florida flips blue? Now, remember I said something about Michigan. Michigan is definitely blue. And guess what happens when Florida flips blue? Boom. That's an immediate win. Which means if Florida flips blue, Democrats win the election immediately. Immediately. They don't need to care about Wisconsin. They don't need to care about Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada. I don't give a damn. And there's like this talk about Nebraska going full state. A winner takes all. Okay, we'll give them. Boom. She still wins. If Florida turns blue, Democrats win, period. That's it. They win. There's nothing else now. It's over. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, if Florida turns blue, it's over. It's immediately over. And my prediction is if Florida turns blue, Georgia, North Carolina is gonna turn blue because they're like brothers basically. I mean sisters in this case. Blue wall confirmed Nevada, maybe not Arizona, but considering Donald Trump's attempts at degrading veterans, at degrading Tim Walz, and his whole Arlington debacle, look, this could be the case. And Maine's 2nd district could also turn blue. It's actually 350. It's not even 349, 350. Because if we go back to take a look at the polls, where was it? Come on. It's always like this. Okay, let me go back and take a look at Maine's 2nd district. Maine's 2nd district, there is actually a poll showing Kamala Harris up by 5. Here, University of New Hampshire actually has them up by 5. They're not a 3-star pollster, but at 2.6. They're like on the verge of reliable. Right after Joe Biden dropped out, Trump was +4. After the debate, I think it's after the debate, right after the debate, Harris surges to +5. I think Penn Atlantic, not so reliable, Trump +7. I don't know. No, sorry. No, I'm wrong. This is not even post-debate. This is August. And by August, Harris is already +5 in Maine's 2nd district. So actually, right now, if they were to do a poll again, she could be winning 250 because she's taking Maine's 2nd district. Basically, she's taking entirety of Maine. This, if there were a landslide scenario, this could be the map. By the way, she is only down 4 in Iowa and down 3 in Alaska. Let's take a look. I didn't drink a single mouth of water for like 2 hours now. I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable, but I'm gonna give you all the best content. I'm giving you all the best content. It doesn't matter if I'm feeling a bit low and down right now. I'm giving you all the best content. So let's take a look at Alaska. We'll go back to Texas. Iowa, one of the polls show her, so 3-star poll, Trump up by only 4. Okay, Alaska. Come on, load. Alaska. +5, Trump. And Alaskan survey research, I remember they were like only decimal points off in the 2020 prediction. So Trump +5. All she needs to do now, again, in the previous video where I said, all she needs to do now is to go to Anchorage and like say some remotely independent sounding things. And she could flip Alaska. Texas. Ouchies. Okay. Emerson College. Emerson College puts Trump +5, +3, YouGov +5. It's within the margin of error. It's in play. It's actually likely Republican. It's not even lean Republican. Okay, let's go back to the map. Texas is now not likely Republican. It's lean Republican. Yeah. Iowa, lean Republican. Alaska, lean Republican. Florida, lean Republican. They're all lean Republican. Ohio, dude, Ohio is kind of lost, but I remember there are like, what, hundreds of thousands of Haitian immigrants? Or is it just immigrants in Ohio? It could turn Ohio lean Republican. Seriously, guys, this is what's staring down at the GOP. It's all lean now. It's horrendous. And let's give them all the leans, okay? This is the situation, okay? And Kamala Harris is definitely taking Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, and Nevada. So, as of now, this is the map. This is the map you guys are looking at. And Democrats can possibly take North Carolina. Maybe they don't take North Carolina, but they take Georgia. Okay, maybe they don't take Georgia. They're extra mean. They take Florida. Maybe they want to be even more mean. They take Texas and give them back Florida. Maybe they don't take Texas. They say, you know what, we want to replicate Joe Biden. We take Arizona. And maybe grab Anchorage from Alaska. And maybe for extra surprise, we take Iowa and Maine 2nd District. Yeah. Like, this is the insanity. By the way, at bare minimum, Harris takes the blue wall. She wins. Boom, 270. She doesn't even need anything else. But what I'm saying is, this is what it looks like. And even Maine 2nd District and maybe Ohio, but we'll be kind. We'll be nice. North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada goes to Harris. And honestly, I'll probably give her North Carolina. This is what the map looks like. Is the GOP happy about this? I don't know. If I were them, I'll be running. She's winning Michigan. She's almost 100% winning Michigan. Now, okay, I just say it as of recording. It's right now. I don't know. But she's almost definitely winning Michigan. She's as much winning Michigan as basically the Republicans winning Texas. Is what I'm saying. Okay, that's about the odds. Now. She's as much winning in Michigan as the Republicans are winning in Texas, which is not good for the Republicans. It's not good for the Republicans. Michigan, 100% goes to Kamala Harris. In fact, the map kind of looks like this right now. Wisconsin, boom. So the other states, if Donald Trump loses either of Pennsylvania or North Carolina and Nevada, okay, they already got Nevada, North Carolina, or loses Georgia, it's over, right? If the GOP loses either of the three, it's immediately over. They are losing in Pennsylvania, they are losing in North Carolina, they are going back to losing in Georgia. And they might be worried about Florida. They could be worried about Texas. They may or may not be worried about Alaska, Iowa, and Maine 2nd District. The worst possible map for them looks like this. 399. This is not fair. Guys, this is not fair. Stop laughing. I know y'all are laughing. Stop laughing at them. It's not fair. This won't happen. Come on, it won't happen. Okay, but the most hopeful case looks something like this. 7 swing state win. Is she gonna take Florida? Probably, maybe. I don't know. At this rate, if they're not gonna do anything about Florida, she might just take it. And 349 electoral landslide is a possible outcome of this election cycle. Guys, I know it's been crazy. I know it's been long. I have to go drink some water and probably end the stream. I mean, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for chatting with me. It's such a great live stream. At the end of the day, go out there and vote. Regardless of what the poll says, go out there, vote. Doesn't matter if you're red or blue. Vote, vote, vote. And last thing, God bless America. Thank you guys for watching.